Roger that. I think once we get done with this, we'll head to 1AIE.
Okay. Let's keep looking down with your camera to keep an eye on me a little bit and our friend.
And if you think we can't make it that far, 1AHS.
Okay.
Yeah, that area between 1AGE and 1AHS is another interesting feature.
Okay, let me think about that.
Just let me know where to keep my heading and
Yeah.
delta. Keep in mind we've got about 4-meter swells.
It's a difference of going to the farther one is about an hour, and going to the closer one's about a half hour. So that's from our
it's
endpoint
11
right
o'clock.
here.
We were going to call Nicole up to talk weather at this
Yeah.
point anyway, so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You wanna-
so
we'll keep going. We're still tracking the line. And
Yeah, but you want to call down to the
yeah,
lounge.
yeah.
Let's pull up the prism. Yeah. -8, -10, still golden. Oh yeah, yeah.
Someone on the live feed is asking, are we going to have a
basket
fast
stuff?
turnaround again after this dive? I'm assuming it's dependent upon the weather.
It is depending upon the weather.
Could we get a zoom on that basket star if we have time?
Yeah. Video push in on Herc.
and then there's a little red coral it's going to be in the upper right next to a sponge. Ooh, it's very nice.
Upper right.
There you go.
There you go.
That's a new one for us for this dive.
Do we want to hold
Yeah,
position?
let's just take a couple of pictures. Bubble gum. We don't need to collect the
Okay.
species, but it'd be nice to take a few shots of it. It's a first for this dive. And zoom out with lasers.
Sure. Video.
Nice. Yeah.
Zoom out a little bit more.
This is a small one.
There you go.
They can get pretty big.
Our delta has increased a little bit.
Yeah,
Dawn.
it's okay.
Okay.
Full wide.
You good, Gary? Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna push back out this way. Yeah. All right, we just want to stop when we get to that other target. Okay. Somebody just came in.
We can have her run and find Nicole.
Yeah. Can you go find Nicole when you get done up here?
Oh,
Thank you.
Rennie's gonna go and do it.
I just wanted to read a really nice comment. She says, hello. I'm a proud URI grad from the dark ages of 77, and I only wished to say that your site helps to get more people involved with cleaning up beaches and not putting plastic where it can end up in our oceans. I wish your site was around when I was teaching science and ecology. Keep up the stellar work. That was sweet.
Thank you.
Let's come up more. Let's come up to 28.
Okay. Is it okay to zoom on Argus a little bit?
Yeah.
Keep going.
Still looks the same.
Yeah. Alright, back out. Thank you.
Oh, well, we wanted to go over what the weather was and if we're going to return it, because we don't get any weather updates up here, really.
The food on Nautilus is delicious. We are blessed to have chefs that cook our meals, 3 wonderful meals throughout our time here on EV Nautilus. So yeah, we have pilots that are navigating Argus and Hercules. We have someone also in control over the mapping. Um, the Nautilus team works very collaboratively, and currently you don't hear them talking because they're doing some critical thinking about decisions on how we're going to proceed with the expedition. Please be patient.
Let me shift it into view. Nice.
The magic. You're not on.
Wow.
I don't understand how that worked, but
That was magic.
yeah.
Should I come down a little bit more? Okay. Okay.
We have someone in the audience wanting to know what's the most
Okay,
interesting
going.
thing you've seen thus far today. Anyone wants to share?
When we do go to what? Can you?
Special shout out to Mrs. Williams' class for tuning in. They would like to thank all the scientists and the crew for the amazing content provided.
Okay.
Maybe the most interesting thing today was the crab eating the anemone. That
Yeah,
was
that
quite
was pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
trying to rip it apart.
Still not on. It's just for me. Oh, yeah,
Thanks for
thank
tuning
you.
in, Timmy.
Gonna do it on the fly reset here.
Is it actually called that?
What?
Flamboyant squidworm.
Yeah, that's the name.
It's a lot of pressure on a creature.
Well, it is. I mean, have you seen it?
I have seen it. But like, you know, if it just wanted to relax one day and not be
Can't.
so flamboyant.
Can't. Doesn't. That's not its nature.
It's just who it is.
This area up here without the slope is quite different. A lot less fish.
Big squishy things.
Yeah.
Someone in the audience would like to know, do you guys know of any research ROV streams that can tide me over until Nautilus's next season?
Who goes in our off season?
No, nobody really goes in the off season.
No.
Oh, let's think.
You can check the Okeanos Explorer website and see when they might be going out again.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
pretty
we
much
have
the winter time is
fairly
refurbishing
similar
all the
seasons,
vessels.
yeah. What you can do though is I think every dive is on YouTube.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So you can, if you missed a dive, you can just watch it as if it's live.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
And if you're short on time, there's highlights.
Yep. Or you can watch the dive faster.
Yeah.
2-speed.
Yeah, speed it up.
Thank you for tuning in, Ms. Green. She's wondering if are there any opportunities for high school students to come aboard EV Nautilus?
We used to have opportunities for high school students. I think now we've transitioned to just college and up. However, I think we have had an incoming freshman one time. But I think they try to, like, one freshman year under your belt, and then...
That's not to say that we won't have opportunities for high schoolers in the future as we have in the past, but currently, no.
Cool.
And is it right that anyone can request interactions? And
Yeah. Yeah, I think everyone can request an interaction. I have no idea how you go about doing that, but yeah, any school, or we've done boys and girls clubs and museums.
I believe there's a link on the website, nautiluslive.org.
That would make sense. That would be fairly accessible, given that it's something that we do.
And the master.
Wasn't it Al that did just a ridiculous number of interactions? Like she'd get up a few hours before her watch to do them on the East Coast?
A couple cruises ago, Brandon at JPL had quite a heavy schedule as well.
Wow.
Just giving her a run for her money. So yeah.
He's got a heavy schedule anyway, right?
Yeah.
Brandon Rodriguez, he was came out as an educator, but PhD in chemistry, works as a chemist at JPL, but also does with half of his time, and then also does education and outreach for the other half.
I didn't realize that he had a PhD in chemistry or something. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought he was more on the science communication side, but he's actually does some real work, some scientific research for JPL.
Yeah, he's a scientific researcher who found out that, you know, he really enjoys the education side of things.
Yeah.
Yay, the educators.
Actually, it was interesting talking to him, because his biggest concern is, as much as he wanted to go back to doing just the research, was he was worried, you know, like, well, nobody's going to teach the kids the way do a good as job as I'm doing, kind of thing, you know, or like worried that, you know, the kids he was working with would get left behind as a result.
Yeah.
That's a sign of a wonderful teacher.
Yeah. So are you going to leave that wrap in on recovery?
I'm debating. We're going to see how this settles out once we finish this transect.
Yeah.
If it wants to twist back up on itself, then we have to figure out which way we need to go.
Might have been that there's two. And
Thank you for tuning in, Brian G. from Scotland.
That's the problem with letting it sit in the sun for a long time. The plastic just kind of heats up and molds, and then
you can't
with
tell.
the warming and cooling, it'll go back to its kind of more original layout. So sometimes you can get like two separate twists in a tether going in opposite directions.
We've got about 5 more minutes till we're at the end of this feature, Jan.
All right, and do you want to figure out the umbilical situation?
Yeah, but that shouldn't take us more than a couple minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, we fixed the major issue. So
The scary issue's taken care of. The less scary issue still needs to be taken care of.
Which is the less scary issue?
Figuring out which way it wants to twist.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it does kind of seem like it wants to loop-de-loop on itself again right there.
yeah.
Yeah. It looks like we're at about our tether extent.
Yeah.
We have Alicia, who is a chemistry major. She wants to consider applying for the internship, and she's
Do it.
curious.
Yeah, go for it.
Are you able to see the Milky Way when you're not on a dive?
Not during the day.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately in the ocean it's still quite the same. No, often it depends on how far we are offshore away from light pollution. But being out at sea, sometimes when certain ship lights are off and on certain areas of the ship, I mean, you can get some of the clearest, darkest skies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Depending on the moon phases, but
Yeah, sometimes you can pick out satellites.
yeah, watch satellites go across, a lot of meteorites, etc.
Go for it, Alicia. You can do it.
See, as a chemistry major, likely as a science intern.
Yeah, ocean science, chemical oceanography, something like that.
Or even just as a chemist, you could come out for that.
Right.
We've had a lot of nav interns go on to be pilots, or like people who've sat in nav.
Airplane pilots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try for it next year.
Cool.
I mean, I'm going. Well, it's either next year or the following. I just and there's no trying for it. You just
Right.
You're gonna
Here
do
you
it.
go.
Yeah.
Well, like what? Jackie went to flight school
Yep.
for.
She was
Coast Guard.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I went on a helicopter ride recently, and that kind of reaffirmed that I want to learn to fly. I don't know if I want to fly a helicopter though. I think I might want to just do a plane.
Should talk to K2. These
Yeah.
gliders.
Yeah.
Or Summer. Summer's got her pilot's license.
So does Suna.
And she doesn't come over and visit?
What's that?
She doesn't fly a plane over to visit?
I know. It's a shame. All right, there. We're at the end of this here.
All right. So you want to do your thing with
Yep.
Fergus and Herc?
All right,
Okay.
so look all
Bridge
the way
nav.
down.
All the way down?
Yep.
Can I just go
Let's
until
hold
I hit the
position.
software limit?
Yeah.
Aaron, you were talking about getting that one soon too. You still interested?
Yeah, I started lessons.
Oh, nice.
Keep going?
And then I left
Yeah,
for
that's
6
good.
months.
Yeah.
And then, so I need to restart again.
Somebody
That's what I'm
ignored
going
the
to do is
stop
just do it all in one
Yeah,
chunk.
I was like,
when
I
I
don't
have
know.
off a month or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely need to do that because
Yeah,
after 6 months, I probably need to refresh anyways.
for sure.
So I've done a couple.
Waiting for the tether to kind of come into view.
There's a lot of people actually on Nautilus that are pilots, even Jeff, Video Jeff.
Video Jessa.
Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think there was one watch we had more pilots in the van than not.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Of course, it's like super murky.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. So that's the second football float just based on distance. Rennie, you have that string? Can I have that string?
Yeah. Nope.
I just need a section of it. Thanks.
Oh, you get the light too.
All right, so look, tilt up a little bit because we want to watch that end. Yeah. I'm going to I'm going to come back towards you about 5 meters. Let that kind of give that some slack and see what it does.
Nope.
Do you want me to look up a little bit?
Yeah, it's a good call. Well, a little bit more.
Yeah.
Hello, Sweden. Thank you for tuning in.
It doesn't seem unhappy. Coming back another 5 meters. Yeah, bring your
Sure.
heading over. I'm gonna,
Just a couple of degrees.
yeah, just enough so we can see that football.
Okay.
Sometimes I have no idea how it ends up in those positions underwater. We've actually, it wasn't with this vehicle, but one of the other pilots was telling a story about a complete knot.
Wow.
Like the loop and then tied in a knot, like as if you were tying a knot in a piece of line, or a loop into a piece of line. Just, I was like, he's like, no idea how that happened. You know?
So what's your thoughts? Sorry, I was looking at weather here. What's your
What time is that?
It's later.
Okay, so but that's our location.
That's what I'm asking about right now. What's the situation with that?
I think that we're good on that.
Okay.
I would continue the dive.
Okay. Yeah, we should still be good till for a 1 o'clock recovery. So.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna step aft one more.
Okay.
time.
Yeah, we're ready to continue.
Okay.
Which direction are we going?
That's what we're figuring
let me
out.
let me check the time here and see what we got. Seeing as it's so close, this 40.3 and that green highlighted features down there.
This?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's investigate that.
Uh-huh.
And if we have more time, we'll head up to that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Where did we have the knot last, or the twist last time? On the first or second?
It was the second football both times.
Okay.
145.
But that doesn't even look like it wants to twist on itself right now. It's got the slack to do it.
Are you ready?
145?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bridge nav. 1 step 40 meters, bearing 145. Yep, thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to 145. And I'll drive
Should I-
around so you can follow me.
Should I mirror your heading?
Yeah. Yeah, what's the wind currently? 18? Well, 20 used to be our cutoff point, so. Oh, right, I forgot about those. One more. I know. I'll tell her it was me. I can hear the story now.
Bridge nav. We can add one more step. Thank you.
To the rocky bits.
We have Alicia, the chemistry major, with another question.
Mm-hmm.
She says, have you found any possible medically useful compounds in some of your samples? Since the deep sea is an extreme environment, it requires special proteins that are still effective in that environment. Some probably have some interesting uses.
Cancer sponge.
Cancer sponge. As the pilot, I don't know what research occurs with the samples that I collect. However, we have at times been looking for very specific sponges, or Jan was even mentioning we were looking for the moon sponge,
Yes.
which
Yeah, the moon
has been
sponge.
affectionately renamed the cancer sponge. And that's wanted specifically for research for its medicinal properties.
Got anything else back there, science?
It sounds like the person who wrote the question knows a lot more about it than I
Yeah.
do. But very good question, very intelligent question, and a good answer.
And apply for the internship. Maybe
That's
we'll talk about it in
right.
person next year.
Should I come down a little bit?
I'm kind of tempted to hold the 30 just based on,
The tether.
yeah. Because now I'm operating at negative 1.5, and so that puts us back to where we were yesterday. But yesterday it kept looping over on itself too, so that's why we recovered with the positive wrap. But then it looped in the other direction, so sometimes you can get a half wrap in, and so the tether is just 180 on itself, and it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they had gotten it mounted correctly, and it was just baked in, and that's what we saw yesterday and the day before. Mark's going to give me grief, though. We'll recover with a negative wrap.
Yeah, our next dive is really planned to be very deep, so we want everything to be in tip-top shape.
Mm-hmm. How deep?
3,000.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah. I believe it's Bodega Canyon, or is it Box Canyon? I think it's Bodega Canyon. It is in Cordell Bank National Marine Sanctuary. Yeah.
Bridge nav.
Let's operate between like 27
So
and
I
30.
have a step 40 meters
the
bearing
delta.
east. Okay. Thank you. So now we're going east.
Going east. All right, and I'm going to run a 045 until your heading comes around to 090.
I'll come over.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like those little corals, they like being near these sponges.
The sponges?
Yeah.
Mm.
It may actually protect them from sedimentation or something.
Oh,
right, if they're growing
probably.
underneath it.
And you call yourself just a Herc pilot.
I'm just a bus driver.
I used to be a school bus driver.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Seems
when,
like
when I was in college. It made
Yeah?
good money.
Really?
Yeah. It was a long day, though.
Yeah, I imagine, especially if you were still going to school.
Yeah. Get the kids to school. Get me to school. Get the kids back to school. Go back to school.
Yeah.
But I came out of school without any student loans.
That's cool.
Did
That's amazing.
Did you drive the school bus to your school as well? Because
No.
that would just
No. No, I work for the county south of where my school was.
still always kind of amazes me. We used to do a lot more video with Argus, so we would like our tethers would be 20 meters, you know, so like your delta would be under 10. Those tethers are a lot easier to manage than like something that's 40 meters.
Those always made great visuals, especially when Herc was on either a really steep wall or on a shipwreck.
And with clear water.
And clear water, yeah. And just beautiful.
Kelp fall?
Pardon me? Oh,
Kelp?
kelp, yeah. It looks like a Egregia.
Egregious. Egregious kelp fall.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Lots of brachiopods. Ooh.
Actually, it's kind of funny. Jen, Rennie and I were talking about this the other day, which was the bottom time that like a Herc pilot or a nav or even video gets, and how you kind of, it's not your specialty, but you pick up things over the over the hours and years.
Definitely people on the reverse as well. Science row that have done so many hours there that they're well acquainted with many different ROV systems and limitations and what have you.
Right. Yeah.
Bridge nav. Add one step east. Thank you.
Yeah, it is good to know the engineering and the limitations and navigation and
Go ahead.
geology in order to put a dive together.
Yeah, the thrusters seem like they're doing pretty well. Yep. Okay. That looks man-made.
That does look man-made. Can we zoom in on it?
Sure. Video push in.
Is it a hatch? Porthole? Looks. Is it metal?
Usually metal has, it might be aluminum, but usually metal has a, if there's any steel in it, has a distinct kind of rustical effect.
It's been down here for a while.
Yeah.
Well, plus to me, metal is aluminum. Anything that's hard. My husband would just roll his eyes. Metal? You don't know what metal is versus aluminum?
Yeah. Video push in. Oh, arching.
Hello, Miss Princess class from
Urchin cast.
Texas.
Yep.
Or test.
We've been
Full
diving
wide.
for 16 plus hours.
Yeah, we're approaching 20 hours.
Approaching 20. Thank you for tuning in, Miss Prince.
Can Can you zoom in on that pink blob?
Yeah, that's where we're going.
Yeah.
Video pushing.
Huh.
Pink blob. Confirmed.
Is it eggs? No, it's a sponge.
Is it a
Yeah.
sponge?
Yeah, encrusting sponge on
Oh,
relatively
wow.
soft habitat.
Huh. All right, full wide. Yeah, he was getting bigger.
Yeah, let's go north. And then,
Should I come around?
Yeah.
so Jan,
Hmm? Yes?
the swell, wind waves, and wind is starting to pick up. So thinking
Mm-hmm.
12:30 or 1.
Okay.
1 at the latest, I think. That point up north, I think, let's see if we truck there. If we get to this green feature here, that's a higher slope.
Mm-hmm.
Consult my charts. Yeah, we could be there in like a half an hour.
Okay, well, we truck on up there.
Sure.
Just zoom, zoom, zoom.
Yep.
Okay, north it is. Bridge nav.
Tether looks okay.
Yeah, it does.
Can we track a line 0.5 knots bearing north? Thank you.
And Jamie, we'll be crossing into a different management zone. I'll try to remember to let you know.
So
I'm
we'll
actually
be
tempted
crossing
to move
from
the
the
float more
open,
towards Herc.
prepared to close into the closed zone, correct?
On the tether?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that is correct. Let me zoom out.
Do you think that'll put too much down under
Oh.
Argus?
I'd have to, I'm gonna walk it out,
Yeah.
but
That's correct. It's closed to remain. We're going to close to remain closed.
Aaron, let's push in on sponge.
Cool.
I wonder if you had two floats separated by some distance and the bottom one held the tether, would it always try to keep it, like react the twist?
Aaron, do you have
Well, we
control
do have
of
the two floats, right?
Yeah.
Vid
I mean, a
KVM1
single
and Vid
float position
KVM2?
has like two pieces,
Oh, yeah.
but then you could tangle around that.
Do you,
We're trying to get the video to KVM1. Yeah.
Hi there. So our underwater craft is called a remotely operated vehicle, and our ROV pilots are on the ship controlling it. From there, if you want to learn a little bit more about that technology, check out our website, nautiluslive.org. Or for any specific questions about the ROVs, please post your
That
questions.
still looks pretty good. Yeah. Wow, look at all the fish behind Herc.
Wow.
Perfect. We're going due north.
Due north. Thanks, Aaron. Could you tip, I'm going to like keep asking him questions. Could you tip cam aft so you can see the horizon? Thank you. Just want to keep an eye on the
Heave.
heave and the swell of wind. It's all totally fine.
Yeah, it's just
It's
if it
just
gets
knowing
worse.
knowing the direction it's headed, timing it so we don't get there before we want. But the wind is now up to around 20 sustained and gusts to 22, which is still okay.
And we have our note. Ernie, if we come up with a negative wrap, what direction are we going?
Over under from the crane side.
Okay.
So front row, what is the story with the hand in the view of all the dials and gauges?
Oh, you really opened up a can of worms on that one.
Well, it's been,
Yeah,
I've been
that's more of
holding
like
my tongue for days.
I might ask that question if we have the blue water down the 3,000 meters and a full like 3 hours to talk about
That's the story of Bobby Argus.
it. And Sodor,
Yeah, that's
Roger
okay,
Starboard.
we'll save it for Cordell Bank Sanctuary's
yeah,
dive.
there you go. You can holster that. And
I've just been looking at that for days going, And then Gary just mentioned it and thought it looked like the palm frond sponges that we saw
that's
last
what we
night.
should do. We should replace it with a palm frond sponge. That way it's like there's a bit of another element. He's like a Phantom of the Opera-esque monster, you know.
Yeah.
Our viewers can tune in at 8 p.m. to hear the story tonight.
Yeah, perhaps unsurprisingly, you can imagine it involves my stupidity.
I wouldn't go with stupidity there. I would go with...
It was so long ago, and I didn't have to tell everyone about it, and now everyone makes fun of me.
I was going to go with boyish enthusiasm.
Yeah.
So
I just have a strong imagination and a vast misunderstanding of the operation in general.
But Sodor.
We have a question on the live feed. Are you aware of the seafloor terrain before the dive? Do you ever get unexpected terrain?
We do multi-beam mapping, either collected by us or by other operations, or even AUV maps.
AUV maps are really nice because they're really detailed.
But depending on depth, we can still be surprised because our multi-beam resolution, although it is much better than satellite altimetry or other existing maps that we may have beforehand, the resolution may not allow for, say, to show us a cliff, so we can be surprised by that when we come up on it. So the answer is kind of both.
Right, and to put it into perspective, satellite altimetry, which is what's used is what data you're seeing when you look at like Google Earth.
There's some multi-beam in there.
There is some multi-beam in there, but most of the seamounts are. It looks like the seafloor has been totally mapped, but it hasn't. It's just been mapped through satellite altimetry, which is basically looking at the surface, the average of the sea surface. Satellite altimetry.
Got it.
there'll be like just this mound, and then with multi-beam, it'll turn out that it's, you know, 5 ridges all coming to a point, you know, and you can have massive differences in the depth. So the, you know, Rennie says it gets a little bit better, but it's significantly better.
Awesome.
And with often with multi-beam, you also get backscatter.
Yep.
And so you not only get the details of the depth changes, the contours, but also the hardness of the substrate. So that combination of that goes into various models to try and select our targets from those models, because we often, it depends on your goal. You know, do you want soft sediment? Do you want cultural resources like a shipwreck?
Is that one?
Corals and sponges. So you're
So
going to look at
it's
different,
hitting a little bit
habitats
faster.
and different readouts from those different mapping tools.
Awesome. For those of you who are tuning in on YouTube, if you would like to share a question or a comment, please visit the website on nautiluslive.org. That is how you can tune in and send questions to the team. Someone else is asking, what are all the white things on the seafloor? Is it seashells?
We'll eat a quick lunch and be on deck
They're
by 12:45, I think.
Brachiopods. So the nice
No,
seashells.
but I will say that we are
brachiopods.
likely, based on, to recover with a negative wrap, so that is over under. Yeah. Yeah. I would say we'll pass up something through the intercom. But we'll be ready on deck by 12:30. I think we will be down on the deck ready to go at 12:30. But how close are we to being done with this move? I want to see all the things ready.